All right. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Not For Everybody podcast. Today we have John. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Rojo. Good morning, Rojo.
Morning.
And Cleve. Morning, Cleve. All right. So first topic. We don't want to delay. John, man's money versus woman's money. What's that about?
Well, it's a different ideology about how men basically you see money as opposed to how women see money. A lot of times, especially when we start talking about we're being providers and everything of that particular nature. Usually, when a man's money is looked at, it's looked at the money that goes into the treasury of the family, and everything is used, whether it's vacation, bill paying, recreation, and everything. And a lot of times when you see when a woman's thinking about her money is usually 9 times out of 10 going towards her and sometimes towards the kids. So it's a different ideological perspective in regards to how we perceive and how we even look at when we look to date a woman or marry a woman. We don't take their money into consideration hardly because we're looked at as being the providers. And normally, when we spend money, all our money goes towards family development. And so I thought it would be a good topic since it seems to be a hot topic these days, especially as we hear in the world how we should be as men and how women perceive that particular process. So I thought it might be a good subject for us to talk about.
That's interesting. So basically, let's say John, Cleve, as men, as John said, we're looked at to be the providers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it another way. I said, well, hey, as the provider or as the breadwinner in the family, let's say your woman comes to you and says, hey, I'm feeling lost. I don't know who I am, which most women, for some reason, lose their identity. I don't know how or why. It doesn't even make sense to me. But they say they lose their identity during the family or child rearing process, and they want to find themselves. And a lot of times, them trying to find themselves means they need to go, and I call it learning to read. But for some reason, they need to go get a degree of some sort. And that degree, let's just say, costs $200,000. I've got a cousin going through that right now. His wife has been chasing a degree for the last 20 years, and she spent over $300,000 on it. And he's frustrated with that because that's an amount that you'll never make back on a job. You'll just never make that money back. So at some point he wants to say no, but when he says no, then she's like, I'm not a child. You can't treat me like I'm a child.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's the breadwinner and she's acting like a child and she cannot find herself, like, at what point does reality get interjected into this?
Right.
Right? Like, let's say she makes $50,000 a year, but he doesn't see any of that $50,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to the great Galu. We just throw it up in the air. It goes wherever the hell it goes. We have another friend whose wife hoards or portions off a portion of her money that doesn't go towards anything else. Is that right, Cleve?
Mm-hmm.
It goes towards whatever the fuck she wants to put it towards.
But is it rainy day money or is it just?
It's not. No, we had discussed before. It's not rainy day money. It's her own money.
Okay.
Right. And so
it's not a. Yeah, it's her.
But 100% of his money goes towards all that the family needs. And when they fall short on something, he catches the wrath.
Yeah, because they wanted to go on a vacation or something, and he was like, "No, we can't afford to go." He was being reasonable, logical. We can't afford it. Blah blah blah. She got mad at him because he didn't have the money, knowing she had money to cover it, but she didn't want to spend her money.
Right. So at what point? I don't know. Sometimes with women, sometimes, and I shouldn't just say with women, but in this instance, we're talking about men and women. So sometimes people just have a child's view of justice, in my opinion, and I don't think that makes sense. but I don't know any woman that has done anything, that has accomplished anything without any level of welfare. And what I mean by welfare is child support, governmental support, grants. It's all welfare.
I wouldn't say that, but there
Yeah,
are women who have done it without
just
welfare.
a little bit on that particular statement right there. Um, you know, I understand the mentality. I mean, just in relationships or whatever, you know, I don't think I've ever had a woman ever say to me, "Hey, let's go on vacation. Just bring your bags." You know, I've never seen that. I have not had that happen in my life, and you know, I've done it more times than I have ever had it done to me. Even if I've done it once, which I've at least done it once. You know, like, hey, let's go on vacation, and you know, I've never seen a woman say, you know, I like to travel. You like to travel with my money, or do you like to
Yeah.
travel with your money? You know, I've even had one time an instance, and this is a personal, where we're going someplace, and she didn't want to drive a Kia. She wanted to rent a Volvo because she didn't want to be seen on Cannery Row in a Volvo. And I'm like,
On
but
your dime.
don't nobody know you on Cannery Road. So what difference does it make? It's just a weekend. We're going to have a good time. So then, resolutely, 2, 3 weeks later, when she was spending her money, she was in a Toyota, and I let her have it. I'm like, oh, you can drive in a Toyota on your dime, but you got to drive in a Volvo on my dime. Okay.
So Rojo, let's refute that. Maybe you've taken a man somewhere and just told him, "Baby, just pack your bags, and Mama got you." Maybe you've done that. I don't know. Have you done that?
I mean, now I'm gonna tell you this. This is not, the beginning of a thing. It's established. We're comfortable. I know who you are. I know what kind of man you are. I know the character of you. And I'm comfortable. So have I? Yes.
Sugar mama.
Have I been in a position where a man refused it? Yes.
Mm.
So have I done things like, oh, well, I'll just call ahead and take care of payment so we don't have to worry about it. And so, which takes it off the table. Like, then nobody has to worry about it. It's just,
Sugar mama right there.
Right?
no,
She grows.
no. And see, that's the thing. That's why it's one of those things that you don't do in the beginning, because you don't want to set a tone. I will say this. I think there's something to be said for a certain kind of woman, and I am that kind of woman, who enjoys the feeling of being cared for, who enjoys the feeling of being thought of and looked after. And in some of those ways, it takes money to make those happen. It takes money to go to a dinner. It takes money, even if you're gonna stay at home. Somebody got to cook. Somebody got to order the movie on the Netflix. So there has to be a TV. There has to be PG&E. All of that kind of stuff. And if I don't feel cared for, then I don't feel like there's value. Now, when I do feel cared for, it's like I want to blossom, like I want to contribute. It's like you have made sure I felt safe emotionally, physically. You made sure that I felt like I had a place. I want to make sure you feel supported and encouraged, right? So I think there's some reciprocity that comes with that. I also think that women do accomplish things, in this era, grown women who are about goals and who have ambition definitely set intention and pursue those goals without the support of welfare or the contribution of a partner, and people aren't sitting around going, it would be great to accomplish this goal if only I had a man. Like, nobody's doing that. So you go ahead, you get your stuff, you meet your person at a point in time, You meet a person, maybe he's the person, maybe he's not, maybe she's the person, maybe she's not, you know, and you enjoy that period of time. I think doing stuff, doing activities with a male person and you're splitting, that feels weird to me. So either you got it or I got it. I don't want to get into dicing it up or anything like that. It just feels weird. Let's take care of
Conversation
it.
is how often you get it.
Did what?
So you said either you got it or I got it. The conversation. So okay. So you can date a man. So
Mm.
female date guys, right? But typically the only person that's really got buy-in is the man. The
No,
female may give you her time. The
no,
female may smile at you, but the man is paying for just about every doggone thing that there is to pay for.
How are you socialized? Like, what lessons did you get as a young man coming up
You
around?
talking about me?
I'm talking about all three of you all.
No, this is math.
No, I'm asking you a question about how you were socialized.
Meaning
What
what?
were you taught?
we all probably three taught the traditional way is that men pay for everything.
Right.
Mm.
And we've gotten to a point in time where that doesn't seem to be appreciated, and now we're more cognizant of the unappreciation, and we're moving into another thought process about whether or not that's something that we want to continue to do.
I,
We're
I wouldn't say
living in
that.
times where men are feeling underappreciated. They're not feeling like they're loved or appreciated by the black woman. And at this point, there's this war between black men and black women in regards to how the relationships and what is expected. So men are modifying their thought process.
I don't know if so. I don't know if I would go there. I guess where I would go is here.
We wouldn't be having this conversation if we weren't going where I'm going.
Well, no, that's not true because financially, there's still a significant outlay that is higher for men than it is for females. If you go on a month's worth of dates with females, you can calculate the financial cost, and it's much larger for the male typically than it is for the female. I mean that just doesn't matter whether you appreciate it or not. That there is a significant financial cost to the male
Sure.
in this society. That's just true.
That's why we're having this conversation.
No, you started talking about whether it's appreciated or not, and I'm just simply
No,
saying
that's just a
whether
that
you
caveat.
also
You
okay,
your point.
whether it's appreciated or not, it's still a significant outlay. Every meal that you take a woman to, I mean that you want to go to, is between $100 and $200, right? So 4 meals is $800. That's significant.
We're not debating that.
Yeah, I mean that just is. And so on those 4 dates, what did it cost the female?
Time.
Basically, that's it. So there's a buy-in. Well, Joe, looks like you are stuck.
Nope.
Right?
Listening.
Oh,
She having a seizure.
You know,
Listen.
say, if you
Yeah.
want to take me out to dinner, you also got to pay for a babysitter too.
No, that's not fair.
I've never even heard that.
Trust me,
Never
it's
heard that
more
before.
than once.
That's
That's a
happened to
hood
you?
rat thing.
Yeah.
I thought that that was just social media hype.
No,
You need to
Did
leave
you
them
do
hood
it?
rats alone, John.
no.
Wait, John, what age girls are you dating that they have
Right?
children young
And
enough to
they
be
Here,
able
first
to
off they need
babysit?
here.
babysitters.
I'm not like I've been single a long time. You guys
Apparently.
getting back into the world. Cleve's been, hiding in hibernation of marriage for a long time. You guys haven't been out here active in the world like me. You don't go to clubs. You guys ain't been out
Mm.
there in the world. You got to
And
be
that's
around a
hey,
little
and that's a
bit.
cost as well, John. That's a cost as well. When you have to
Uh,
go to the club, drinks,
complain.
those are all costs, man. Rojo, what is the average date with you? What's the financial outlay do you think that a man has to pay for an average date with Rojo? What does that look like financially, would you say?
Are you talking just dinner?
No, man, dinner. I mean, let's be honest. Dinner, drinks, you know, I know you can throw them back, so you gotta.
You go, girl.
So I will say what I have been told is there are some advantages to dating a vegan.
Okay.
There's
Right.
mistakes.
That's true. Cheap.
So
Vegan food ain't cheap no more.
no, if you go to the bougie vegan restaurant, it can be pricey. But if you go to the taco spot and get the mushroom tacos, it's not, you know.
Let's
So
be honest. A guy who takes
it's
you out who really likes you is going to take you to a nice restaurant, whether it's vegan or not. So
yeah,
let's just
I
say
could
he
say
takes
But if,
you to eat
I
fish.
but if she just
it's
getting a Caesar
based
salad,
on
you know,
no,
Right,
I'm
that's
not getting
different.
Caesar
But
salad. There's fish and nut and cheese.
okay,
oh,
there
that
you
damn
go.
Shelby paste. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I
Mhm.
can say less than $100 for both of us. Because if it's a date, I'm not drinking like that. It'll be a cocktail, if that. And he'll have a cocktail. And I'm mindful. I'm mindful too.
If a
I'm
man takes
mindful
you to
that
eat fish,
let me finish the sentence, man.
you
I'm mindful that someone has invited me out and the intention is to get to know each other. So I'm not trying to run up the tab. I'm like, we're here to have a conversation, to get to know each other. Um, and there's that. Now, the other thing that I want to throw out there, dates are dates and stuff like that. But if we, you come to my house and you're hanging out, I am always going to make sure that there is things there that um he would want, right? And so I think that there is a difference. Like somebody spending money here, somebody spending money there, but life is not cheap like right now, so we're all spending money, and so it's what are you covering and how are you covering it? If we're going out, whoever's driving is making sure that the car is full of gas before you get there,
But
right?
normally we haven't gotten to your house till date
exactly.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So
We were
there's a
we,
cost. So to
we're
get to
not
your
going
house, so it costs $1,000 to get to your house.
I don't have the
five,
$200 dates. I'm not eating a steak.
500.
Okay, so 500. I mean
Okay.
that's for real though. There's a
And
cost to
if
the
we
house.
like, you may not like me. Like in the conversations, we may not vibe, and you may not want to do that.
But
You
we're
Okay,
just
so
know?
talking about
so then
overall. But we're
so
just
then
talking
it
about
costs
overall, not just you. We're talking about
Yeah.
right.
overall.
So
Before
it's
we
a
get
good
to that,
vibe you like, and so now you got yeah. Because I too was socialized in the same way. It doesn't feel good if dates 1, 2, and 3, I'm cracking open my wallet. I won't feel good about it. I can. If date 1, I'm cracking open my wallet, I can tell you there won't be a date 2. Like I
Ooh,
will. I
ooh.
will.
that
What?
means there's some conditions that we men have to deal with, and whether or not we want to deal. And I know I've heard the opposite side. Well, date somebody that's in your price range or whatever.
It's not even about that. It's
I'm
not about the
saying, I'm
price
on that
range.
as another caveat that's out there too in the mentality.
I agree with you,
I gotta
Jojo.
tell you,
Oh, I agree with
it's
you.
not about the price range. It's for, like I said before, it's about how I feel. Can I woosah? Can I decompress? Can I let go and feel okay with you? And if I am still on guard, if I'm still, in that power position that I don't want to be in, then I got options. I can stay home under a blanket and turn off, So and that isn't even the competition of other people, because I don't want it to be that. It's you against you, it's me against me. And
Right.
so, you know, and I know people who are like, oh, 50-50. We can do 50-50. I won't feel good about it, and there won't be a reason to continue, because at the end of the day, when we're talking about the reason we met was to possibly see if we wanted to move toward a relationship. We want to know if I'm going to feel good in a relationship. And if you're the kind of man who would be comfortable with that in the beginning, where are we going from there? And I won't be comfortable, and I know it. So rather than us play those games, then let's be very clear from the beginning. And I do believe in being very clear from the beginning as soon as you know. Like as soon as you know, as soon as you as the man know, as soon as I know as the woman know that there is no future for us, then we need to say that and we shouldn't string each other along.
But don't you think that's the basis of John's conversation? Which is basically a man is investing to get to know you. So it takes a man $300 to $1,000 to get to know you, but it costs you nothing. And the minute somebody asks you to equally contribute to getting to know them, you're not comfortable and you won't go out with them again and you don't want to get to know them anymore.
Gotcha. And I have to own that. That is just the way I was,
Fair
right?
enough. That's fair
And
enough.
listen, it may be another woman is the right fit for you, right?
No, you owned it, and I appreciate that. That's exactly what you just owned it, and that I can't say any more than that. You owned it.
So, and as I've seen, other folk who do it differently, and it's like, that is fantastic, right? They both feel good about that situation, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the man who was socialized similarly to the way that I was socialized will be the right fit. And I know I wasn't the only one. I know it wasn't just my mama saying, baby, this is how I go. And the rest of y'all were being given a different message.
But that message was given back in the 70s and the 80s. What about now that we're in 2025 and the aspect of where men are now saying, we're going to move, we're going to change the dynamics of how we're interacting with women and socializing. And I know, and I'm just going to say this, women sometimes are very, very comfortable being alone. Men aren't really comfortable with being alone, but women are very comfortable. I have very few friends that are just outright bachelors and are happy and they still seek female company. Women can just go without it, period.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've not heard that, but okay.
So you ain't been the world.
That's the grass is always greener argument, Kip.
Yeah.
I think just like I think a lot of women think it's easier for men to get partners, and a lot of women think it's easier. Did I mess it up?
Yeah,
Everybody
you
thinks it's
Get what
easier
you're
for the
saying.
other
We
to
go.
get
Yeah,
partners.
yeah.
So that's a good question. So what do you think? I know I'm talking about you wrote this is for the panel. What do you think? Is it easy for a man to get a woman and a woman or a woman to get money? And let's just say money is not involved. Which one's easier for whom?
Gotta ask me. It's much harder for a woman to get a good man than it is for a man to get a good woman, in my opinion.
We'll say that, because it was the magic word.
Much easier.
Good.
No, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Good.
that's why I say good.
Good.
Yeah,
a woman
it's
can get
much
any man.
easier.
That's easy.
It's much easier for a man to get a
Yeah,
good
a
woman than
woman
for
can get a woman can get
Number
a man faster than a man can get a woman.
There's more women in the world than men.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's more women in the world than men. That's absolutely correct. So I think it's much easier for a man to get a good woman than a woman to get a good man. Much easier.
But it's easier for a woman to get a man than a man to get a woman.
Right.
For a woman to get a man to lay on top of her, yes.
Exactly. That's
Yes.
what I'm
Okay. Well,
saying.
there we go. Yes, we can agree on that too.
You
Yes.
can get a man, but like Rochelle, you can walk outside right now. Somebody gonna, hey, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
They're gonna
It's
holler.
easy.
That's
But I
right.
couldn't walk. But we can't walk outside to see some random chick. Be like, hey, gonna get call the police on. But you can walk outside and see a dude and just start talking to him. He's game. So it's
But
easy,
that
like
good
easier.
part, right? Now, and I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, it's any, but if somebody worth anything, it's more
Yeah.
difficult for a woman to find a dude that's worth anything. That's true, because there's a lot of us ain't worth shit. So
And is it worth saying that it depends on the aesthetic, right? Because there are some people, like I was I was looking at some stuff online, and a good looking guy, in shape, muscular, whatever. 10,000 women are like, I would do X, Y, and Z with him, right?
Hmm.
And to me, 10,000 women would do X, Y, and Z. That man is crawling in bacteria. I want nothing to do with him, right?
That's not true. Oh my God.
It's not true.
It's not true
What's
at all.
not true?
It's
What's not
true
true?
at all.
Not true.
Not
That means
true.
crawling in bacteria.
Yeah, you want to be crawling in that bacteria too. 10,001.
No.
Okay, all right. Well, we're not gonna even.
No. Now, I do think men and women, I think, and I'm kind of biased. I think God is a beautiful artist. I think black men, black women are gorgeous. Hands down. right. So, but there's a difference between saying, that's a good looking brother, and walking away, right? Um, and I think that social media makes it easier for people to be keyboard warriors anyway, one way or the other. You know, whether it's just to be mean and cruel, or if it's to express your prowess. I think a lot of people are behind the keyboard going, I do da 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 da. And then if they were approached, it'd be like, oh my God, he's looking at me. You know.
But that thought is still real. They still with that's still their internal thoughts, like for real. Like I'm sure there's a dude that is a star or something like that you just be like, well,
I'm that one out of
right,
7,000 women that
right.
like, I'm the one. It's like,
Like,
you
oh
know,
wait,
the
here's
one.
a good one. Here's a good one. Chris Brown. Females are paying $1,500 to get felt up and take pictures with Chris Brown.
Isn't that
Hmm.
crazy?
And they are standing in line to do it. Same with Usher.
Is he doing the same thing? I knew Chris Brown was. I didn't know Usher
He's
was.
doing the same thing. He brings one on stage. You pay extra money to get on stage. Yada yada yada.
Okay.
But the point is, right? I mean, hey, that's swimming in the bacteria. You know, what's the deal?
I'm good.
You okay?
I'm
You
I'm
wouldn't
good.
$1,500 if somebody paid $1,500. You wouldn't go take a picture with Chris Brown and get felt up.
No, isn't he a little boy? No,
Usher,
no, no.
I'm
Because
sure
no.
if we keep going down the list, we're gonna think of a name. But anyway, all right,
Denzel.
we
Denzel.
will find a name.
Sorry.
We absolutely will find a name. I guarantee it. If
You
you'll
gonna find a name?
Idris Elba. I think they'll do it for him.
yeah,
They'll fight over Idris Elba.
yep. Or Denzel. Or
No.
Yeah.
Denzel. Yeah.
No, again, that's a good looking brother. Mrs. Washington, I'm sure she enjoys her journey, but
This is not
that's
about
her
Mrs.
journey.
Washington. So you would not take a picture with Denzel while he grabs your butt.
No, absolutely.
All right, no problem. All right, well, let's move on to
And
the
a brother
conversation.
like Denzel wouldn't do that.
He might. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
I don't want to insult his character, but you never.
Exactly, you never know.
Denzel, I know you wouldn't do that.
So, next topic.